And if you are new to the class, checking it out, maybe for the first time or first few classes, welcome, of course, and to you as well. And my hope and prayer is that you fall in love with yoga. And so yoga, India's gift to the world. So let's begin, as always, with a sometimes referred to as a centering practice. Find a comfortable sitting position. Sit in a way that you feel the most at ease. And it can be challenging for our nervous system to calm down if we're uncomfortable in our bodies. As ready, roll your shoulders back and down. Relax your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable. And then an invitation, if you'd like, to bring your hands into your heart space. So it might be palms together, palms open. If this placement of your hands makes you lose your balance, choose another placement for your hands. A gentle reminder that we never forfeit balance to come into a pose or movement. And then if you'd like, lift your heart to your hands, bow your head to your heart. And an invitation to take a few moments to allow yourself to consciously enter into this moment, into the present. And setting aside whatever was going on for you before the yoga class, for the duration, knowing that you can come back to that after class. If your eyes are closed, gradually blink your eyes. We are falling awake, not asleep. Falling awake, not asleep. So I'd like to invite you at this time to find a space where you are supporting your own spine. If you need the back of the chair for support today, if you have, and sometimes I like to have a rolled up yoga mat along my spine, that can feel amazing. Maybe a block works for you. And so if possible, find a space where you're supporting your own spine. Alternatively, using whatever you need to feel supported. And sitting up nice and tall, an invitation to maybe just do a little bum dance. See if you can move so that you're sitting forward on your sits bones. So the bones we sit on. Lengthen your spine. Roll your shoulders back and down. Relax your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable for you. And then an invitation to tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck. If it's helpful, you can imagine a turtle, placing a couple of fingers on your chin. Close your eyes softly if that feels comfortable, or soft gaze downwards. So our attention moves inward. Notice the alignment of your knees, hips, ankles, shoulders over your hips. Chin in, parallel with the floor. Now an invitation to bring a gentle awareness to your breath. Placing one hand on your yoga belly. Maybe noticing that as we inhale, belly moves out. On exhale, belly moves in. Maybe placing another hand on your heart space and noticing the pattern of movement between your abdomen and your upper torso of the breath. Maybe switching placement of your hands. Notice the length of the exhale. And when we lengthen our exhale, it engages the relaxation response, allowing us to let go of holding, stress, and tension. So I'd like to encourage you during your yoga practice, whenever possible, to bring your awareness back to this deep, easeful breath. If your eyes are closed, gently blink your eyes. We are falling awake, not asleep. Falling awake, not asleep. That said, if you happen to fall asleep in your yoga practice, it is not rocket science. It means that you are tired. And so moving on, an invitation now to ground down through your feet, centering ground through the soles of your feet. Or maybe ground down to your sits bones, noticing where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. Lengthen your spine. Roll your shoulders back and down. Relax your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable for you. Tuck your chin in slightly. And from here, I'd like to invite you to bring your hands together, rub them a little. Take your hands apart, maybe feeling a little warmth or heat between your hands. Might explore moving them a little further apart and closer together. And turn your palms face up, reaching up to the sky. So up, maybe feeling a lightness. And palms face down, a grounding sensation. So spiral your palms open, reaching up to the sky. So if it feels okay for your neck, maybe turning a soft gaze upwards. And this time, as we release our arms back down to the side, or down, just down towards the earth, let's make the sound Ma to honor Mother Earth. Ma. Inhale, reaching up to the sky as high as is comfortable for you. And again, sounding the sound. Ma. A little wavy fidget, so you can do a little bum dance. The 4 sensations I'd like you to experience in your yoga practice are a sense of grounding, balance, expansion, and rhythm. So everything that we do today in the yoga practice hopefully will encourage grounding, balance, rhythm, expansion, rhythm. So with that in mind, let's repose. So make sure your feet are placed evenly on the floor, on your footrest. It's just a helicopter floating overhead, so I'm just going to let it pass. Not sure how much of that you can hear, but clearly I'm outdoors in a rural country, so lots of floodplains, etc. So, yeah. So let's begin again. Begin again, Finnegan, ground down through your feet, center ground through the soles of your feet. So we want to keep our connection with Mother Earth. We tend to start losing that. Or ground down through your sits bones, maybe noticing where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. If it's helpful, you can walk your feet forward a little bit. Lengthen your spine. Roll your shoulders back and down. Soft, organic movements, nothing rigid. Relax your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable for you. tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck. So imagine a turtle if you'd like, a couple of fingers on your chin. And so from here, let's maybe come back to our breath for a moment. Notice is your breath still long and smooth and easeful. So from here, let's transition into a warm up. Beginning with our head, bring your chin gently towards your chest. So you're still sitting up nice and tall. Your breath is smooth and long and easeful. And then turn a soft gaze, maybe looking up towards the ceiling where the ceiling meets the wall. So we'll keep this gentle movement flowing for the cervical area of our spine. So it's as if you're nodding yes. And then as ready, bring your head back to center. And then take one ear towards your shoulder. And then move your head back and forth. If you'd like, you can add a little half smile, like a soft smile, like a little Buddha smile. So smiling releases saliva. We want a nice juicy mouth and juicy body. We've all been to the dentist. And then when you're ready, bring your head back to center. And then turn a soft gaze looking towards your shoulder. Only turn your head as far as feels comfortable for you. And then turn your head from side to side, as if nodding no. As ready, finish up the movement that you're on, bring your head back center. And so from here, I'd like to invite you to take 3 deep breaths. And so unless you're congested, and inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. If you're congested or you have an obstruction, of course, breathe in whatever way you can. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. If you like, you can explore making a ha sound as you exhale. Inhale. Good. Okay, so let's continue with the gentle movements. So I'll continue moving down along the spine with a movement called cat. So I'd like to invite you to keep this leaning forward facing me. However, to hopefully give you a better view on with the spine, I am going to turn my chair. There we go. And so today I'm sitting up actually on a yoga block. And so ideally, if we can have our hips slightly higher than our knees, wonderful. Not one size fits all, however. So I find that this little lift under my butt helps a lot. And so if it's you're at home, you might use a blanket, whatever you need to facilitate sitting up nice and tall. And so moving on, so the movement is cat and cow. So begin with your hands resting on your thighs if you'd like. And then on your exhale, round your back. So as I'm doing this movement, I like to place one hand on my chest. So it's as if our chest is moving in towards our spine. So the sternum moves in, or pardon me, the sternum moves in towards our ribs. And then when you're ready, arch your back, the sternum lifts, moves forward, lift your solar plexus, your heart. An invitation to keep this gentle warm up for the thoracic area of our spine in your own time and rhythm. So if you've been doing your practice for a while and you feel comfortable with this, you might explore closing your eyes softly. And so I am here if you need a visual. So move in a way that feels natural for you. So natural that the movements and your breath become one. And so you might notice that as we round our back, our hands naturally have a tendency to slide towards our knees. And on the inhales, we arch our back, hands slide in towards our hips. So if your skin is sensitive, an invitation, you just explore floating your hands above your legs. So inhale, arch. This is the cow piece. Exhale, round. Happy cat. When you're ready, finish up the movement that you're on. Come on back to a neutral spine. And I'm going to turn my chair facing forward again. Take a moment. And from here, I'd like to invite you to reach one hand towards the earth, towards the floor. And hold on to the other side of the chair for stability if you'd like. Keeping both sits bones on the chair. Reaching towards the earth. And keep shoulder lined up with shoulder. If it's helpful, you can imagine that you're seated between two panes of glass. And then we'll move from side to side. So moving in your own time and rhythm might be helpful to, as you reach towards the earth, towards the floor, to exhale. Inhale, come back center, exhale to the other side. Or maybe at the moment it feels better just to inhale to one side, exhale to the other. Again, if you're congested or you have an obstruction, breathe in whatever way you can. So you might notice that as we warm up, these movements become more easeful. Maybe we're able to go a little bit deeper. And finish up the movement that you're on. Come on back to neutral spine. Relax your arms wherever feels most comfortable for you. And from here, let's come into a gentle twist. So for this twist, I like to place my fingers at the base of my spine, sitting up nice and tall. So we lengthen our spine. And then beginning at the base of your lumbar spine, moving up one vertebrae at a time. Twist to the side. Your head turns last. See if you can avoid the temptation to move your head to its full range. And then we'll move dynamically, twisting from side to side. Remembering your little soft smile, little half smile if you'd like a little Buddha smile. This is a gentle twist. I'm going to actually encourage you to move towards your 50%. We're not meant to go to our full range. And finish up the movement that you're on. Come on back to a neutral spine. Relax your arms down by your side or wherever feels most comfortable. And then I'd like to invite you to take a moment to notice, has anything changed for you energetically since we began the class? Notice the effects of the movements. Oh, speaking of movement, moving on with our hands resting where they are, let's tap our fingers. And then maybe exploring tapping from your pinkies to your thumbs. So micro movement, visualizing the movements, focusing on what we can do. And then thumbs to pinkies. So it is really not natural for us to move our hands in this way. As long as we're moving our fingers, we're strengthening our hands, we're strengthening the neural connections. And then how about a little air piano? You can throw a little bum dance in there if you like. Woo-hoo. I always like to say, be creative. You know, one of the lovely things I discovered in my yoga practice is that being creative can help with anxiety. And we all have our own sense of rhythm. And so as you're ready now, an invitation to rotate your wrists. And to take a look at your hands with appreciation for all that they do. And rotate your wrists in the opposite. And then maybe imagine you're moving your hands through water. And it's ready, push your hands away. Your arms can be as high or low as you like. So my arms are quite low today in relation to my shoulders. So push your hands away, pull your hands back. Push your hands away, pull your hands back. With this movement, not only are we getting into all the major joints in our arms, so getting the synovial fluid flowing into our joints. I always like to call it, think of it as Mother Nature's WD-40. And we're also getting into the area on the inside and outside of our shoulder blades. It's like we're giving our upper back a little massage. Push your hands away, pull your hands back. And one last time, push your hands away, pull your hands back. And then when you're ready, relax your arms down by your side or wherever feels most comfortable for you. And take a moment or two to feel your work. And then from here, I'd like to invite you to begin moving your arms in ways you don't typically move. And it can be interesting to close your eyes if you feel stable, comfortable in your chair, if you like, or soft gaze downwards. And so if it works for you, you can imagine your arms are like seaweed or seagrass at the bottom of the ocean. And the seaweed is making its way up towards the light. So moving in your own time and rhythm. So stretch into the stretch. Get bigger in space. So we tend to shrink. Now we're getting into the deeper connective tissue in our body, fascia. And then I'd like to invite you to notice where in your body you feel like your body's talking to you, where you're holding stress and tension, and an invitation to send your breath there. So our breath is part of our life force. And then as ready, moving on, maybe notice if there's another area of your body that's talking to you. Maybe a place where you're not feeling like there's so much energy moving through. Send your breath there. And then lastly, wherever your body is still talking to you, spend a moment sending your breath there. And then slowly come back to stillness. Relax your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels comfortable for you. And then I'd like to invite you to notice any subtle sensations. And trust that the sensations are there. Can you name the sensation? Maybe you're feeling a little more energy than you did at the beginning of the class. Maybe the sensation is one of fatigue. Right? No judgment. Yoga meets us exactly where we are. I have a friend who's a para who says when he practices yoga, sometimes he feels a hum. And translate to feeling like a hum moving along the spine. So no right or wrong. Okay, so moving on, and let's come into a movement that I like to call finding our balance. And so to date, the best definition of balance that I've heard is the equal distribution of presence throughout our entire body. So balance, the equal distribution of presence throughout our entire body. So with that in mind, I'd like to invite you, if you know balance is a challenge for you, make sure you have whatever device you need to keep you stable in your chair. And so sit up nice and tall. Feel free to tuck your hands into your hips or holding onto the underside of the chair. Lengthen your spine. Walk your feet forward a little bit if you need or want to, if that's helpful. And then hinging from the hips, come forward with a flat back. So I'd like to encourage you to move towards 20%. So noticing sometimes when we come into a forward bend, our chin wants to jut up. So I'd like to encourage you to tuck your chin in slightly and then rock back up. So let's keep this gentle movement flowing. So there's something about this rocking movement that our nervous system often likes. So could it be that because our bodies are, I think it's 75% made up of water, because we were in the womb, that this feels lovely. And then as you're ready, come on back to a neutral spine. Take a moment, and from here, let's your hands resting wherever you need to feel stable and balanced. Circle your heart forward and then circle back. So we're getting into our hips, our lower back a little more here. And again, feel free to hold the chair, hands at your hips, whatever you need to feel stable and balanced. So your circles might be a little slower, or larger, smaller than mine. And so move in your own time and rhythm. And then as ready, circle in the opposite direction. So keeping sits bones on the chair. And so as you're moving, perhaps bringing a gentle awareness to the space in front of you. And bring your awareness to the space beside you. Notice how that makes you feel. Bring your awareness to the space above you. And especially an invitation to take your awareness to the space behind you. So moving away, pardon me, from me to we, to trust that we are being supported. And slowly finish up the movement that you're on. Relax your arms wherever feels comfortable for you. And then take a moment to allow your breath to come back to its natural, your natural rhythm. Maybe observing the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. And so where shall we go from here? I think I'd like to revisit one of my favorite yogic breathing techniques. So this is called lion's breath. Some of you who've been in the class for a while are probably quite familiar with it, others not so much. And so the way lion's breath is practiced is, first of all, imagine you're sitting up nice and tall. Imagine your hands like feline claws. You have feline claws. And then essentially we breathe in. And as you breathe out, your tongue comes out on your chin, roll your eyes back, and your feline claws come out. And so here we go. 2 more times. Inhale. Draw your hands in towards your hips. Exhale. Feline claws. And 1 more time. So curiously, I learned that many years after I've been practicing, actually, so that it's actually not a big roar that happens when we. So here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Good stuff. So a little wiggly fidget. So I'd like to encourage you to take whatever part of the yoga class that you feel works really well for you and create your own home practice. So that's my hope, my dream, my wish for you is that you develop your own home practice. So you can create a little space at home, maybe a few moments in the day that you can have for you. So I like to think of yoga as your gift to you, our gift to us, my practice, your practice. And so it doesn't have to be an hour long. You can do 5-10 minutes, 15, 20, whatever feels good for you. And I'd like to encourage you to choose a time of day that works best for you. Right? So just want to check in with those of you who are live. Is the visual okay behind me? I noticed, so the sun is kind of moving around. Yeah, okay. At some point, I might move the camera a little bit. I think I might during the final relaxation and the meditation piece. And for here, let's continue with a movement called sun breath. And so let's repose to start with, however. So ground down to your feet. Center and ground through the soles of your feet, or maybe ground down to your sits bones. Okay. So feel free to pull the buttock flesh away from your sits bones. Lengthen your spine. Roll your shoulders back and down. Tuck your chin in slightly to release the back of your neck. And then when you're ready, an invitation to bring your hands into your heart space. So it might be palms together, palms open. Maybe it feels better to place your hands on your yoga belly. And then as you're ready, extend your arms up and away. So your arms might be higher or lower than mine. Mine are a little bit lower than my shoulders today. And then bring your hands back to your heart space or your yoga belly. So on inhale, extend your arms up and away. And this time, as you bring your hands back, Let's make soft fists with our hands, so that can be helpful if you have arthritis in your hands. Inhale, extend your arms up and away. And so if you'd like, as we practice this gentle heart opener together, so it might be today that you're visualizing the movement. Maybe you have a yoga buddy that can help with the movements. And so perhaps visualizing the sun at your heart center. On your inhales, as you extend your arms up and away, imagine the radiant light of the sun radiating out all around you. And then gather that light and bring it back inside. So it's a symbol of the light that's always inside us. Inhale. This time, as you bring your hands to your heart center, your yoga belly, make a humming sound, like a bumblebee. Inhale. You might notice a bumblebee breath, like the exhale. Inhale. One last time, bumblebee breath, yogic breathing technique. Bowing our head towards our heart gives us a little nerve flossing for our neck. Place one hand on your yoga belly, the other on your heart space. And maybe take a moment to feel the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. And then a little shake up. So a little wiggly fidget. A little bum dance. Woohoo. So from here, where should we go? I think that I would like us to push down through one foot and then push down through your opposite foot. And maybe notice, can you feel one foot more than the other? So that might have something to do with your hips. Or ground down through your sits bones. So you might notice where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. Lengthen your spine. Did you know that we can create space between our vertebrae? Most of us are tallest in the morning. Roll your shoulders back and down. Soft, organic movements, nothing rigid. Relax your arms in your lap or by your side where it feels comfortable. Chin in, parallel with the. And so from here, I'd like to invite you to reach one up as high as feels comfortable for you. Turn your palm face up and then extend your arm away. So actually, we're just going to bring our arm up in line with our shoulder today. Bring your arm back center, palm face down. And so I am outdoors. I do have a wasp that's interested in my feet. So, if I seem a little jittery, that's why. So begin again, fin again, other side. Thankfully, I have a blanket under my feet. I'm going to put it on my feet. Okay, so here we go. Other side, reach up, spiral your palm open. Maybe you can take a moment. Oh, goodness me. Sorry, guys. I'm going to have to wrap this around my feet. I was silly. I put cream on my feet sitting outside. Not a good idea. All right, so here we go. Begin again, fin again. Reach up, spiral your palm open. Take your arm out to the side. Bring your arm back center, palm face down, release. So reach up, spiral your palm open, extend your arm away from you. Bring your arm back center. Get lost. That's never happened before. Reach up. So if you are practicing outdoors, unlike what I did this morning, make sure that you have some kind of bug spray that discourages mosquitoes, wasps, etc. It's that time of year, at least on the West Coast, Lower Mainland. And so reach up, other side, spiral your palm open, extend your arm away from you. Bring your arm back center, palm face down. So let's continue this gentle movement with our arms. And this time, if it feels okay for your neck, turn a soft gaze looking away. So you look past your middle finger, and let's explore making a sound when we bring out our arm out to the side. And the sound is shh. So through the years, students have shared with me that the sound shh can help with spasms. I have an intention tremor. Apparently I'm aging, and so not life-threatening. We all tremor as we age. Usually it's on the dominant side. So I'm right-handed, so I tremor a little more on the right than the left. And so anyway, don't take my word for it. Investigate. Notice how you feel. So here we go. Reach your arm up. Spiral your palm open. So soft gaze forward. Alternatively, if it feels okay for your neck, as you bring your arm out to the side, looking past your middle finger, make the sound shh. Bring your arm back center. Palm face down, release. Other side, reach up. Spiral your palm open. Exhale. Shh. Inhale, come back center. Palm face down, release. So both arms by your sides, spiral your palms open, open up your armpits. So get bigger in space. And so we're broad through the collarbones, extend beyond your wrist, beyond your fingertips. Rotate your palms down, so thumbs towards the floor, the earth. Rotate your palms up. And then when you're ready, take your hands to your heart center. Bow your head to your heart. Reach your arms up to the sky. So we'll transition into gentle flow. So lift your heart, bend from above your shoulder blades. Then maybe our hands come together in prayer down through to the heart. So bowing your head towards our heart gives us a little nerve flossing for our neck. So let's continue with this flow if you'd like. So arms by your sides, spiral your palms open. Take your hands to your heart center. Bow your head to your heart. Reach up to the sky, gentle back arch. Lift your heart, bend from above your shoulder blades. Take a look between your palms if it feels okay for your neck. Notice if they're facing each other, then return your gaze on the horizon. Then maybe our hands come together in prayer down through the heart. Arms by your sides, spiral your palms open. Take your hands to your heart center, bow your head to your heart. Reach up to the sky, gentle back arch. Then maybe our hands come together in prayer. And this time I'd like you to bring your hands towards your heart center. Imagine a waterfall. And so one last time. So you're grounded through your feet, sit bones sharp on the chair. Extend your arms out to the side. Bring your hands to your heart center. Reach up to the sky, gentle back arch. Lift your heart. Maybe our hands come together in prayer. And this time as we move our hands down through to our heart, imagine a waterfall. And place one hand on your yoga belly, the other on your heart space. And take a moment to notice the rise and fall of your belly and your chest. Nice. And then a little wiggly fidget again. So let's practice just a few more movements. So I noticed the wasp decided to buzz off, fly away, thankfully. Moving forward, let's come into a side bend. So we're sitting up nice and tall. Take hold of the underside of the chair, extend your opposite arm, spiral your palm open. So I'd like to, before we come into the side bend, I'll give you 3 modifications for the side bend. So it might be the extended arm. You bring your hand to your hip. Maybe today, soft bend in your elbow. You take your hand to your shoulder. Alternatively, it might feel okay to reach up and over. So on this side only, I'm going to be taking my hand to my shoulder. So I'd like you to think of your practice, these modifications as a buffet. You choose what works best for you. So here we go. Sitting up nice and tall, take hold of the underside of the chair, extend your opposite arm, spiral your palm open. Inhale if you'd like, take your arm up to your place. Keeping sits bones on the chair, come into your side bend. And then turn a soft gaze looking down towards the earth, towards the floor. And then imagine that you're breathing into your rib cage. Can you imagine breathing in below your rib cage? As ready, come out of the pose on this side. So take hold of the underside of the chair, extend your opposite arm, spiral your palm open. So you're taking your hand to your hip or maybe up to your shoulder or maybe reaching up and over. Turn a soft gaze down towards the earth. Breathe in to your rib cage. Can you imagine breathing in below your rib cage? And palm face down. So let's do one more pose. And so I'd like to come into a seated twist. So for this version, I'd like to invite you to reach one hand across to your shoulder, your other hand across to the opposite shoulder. Breathe in, lengthen your spine. Breathe out, gentle twist to the side. And turn sides. Inhale, come back center. Lengthen your spine. And then twist to the other side. So moving from the base of our spine, moving up. One vertebrae at a time. Gentle twist. When it is ready, come on back to center. Shake it. So let's rock and roll. Reach up to the sky and twist. Reach up and twist. And so reach up and twist. And one last time, reaching up to the sky as high as feels comfortable for you. Twist. So you are not pulling or torquing yourself into the twist. And then one more time, reaching up to the sky and palms face down. So the side bends and the twists are pretty intense spinal movements. So we do need to realign our spine, and we can do that with a seated forward fold. I do need to let you know that forward bends can be contraindicated if you have osteopenia. For example, you're not going to want to go into a seated forward bend deeply. And so not that in chair yoga we go super deep into poses, but still sometimes maybe a little too deep than what's recommended if you have osteopenia, osteoarthritis. You might have something else going on with your spine. that you know that it's contraindicated. So I'm trusting that you're all taking good care. And so there is a yoga philosophy that's quite unique. And the first principle would be do no harm. So body, mind, and spirit. And so with that in mind, so sit up nice and tall. If possible, you might bring your feet a little wider than outer hip bone distance. And the wasp is on the coop, so I'm just gonna maybe fold my blanket up a little better in half. And so a little wider than outer hip bone distance if possible. Okay for your feet to be turned out slightly. Maybe just creating a little more space for our yoga belly. And then if you'd like, hinging from the hips, come forward. And taking hold of the underside of the chair. If you need to, walk your feet forward a little bit. Tuck your chin in slightly and then breathe into your lower back. Or you might imagine that your lungs are in your lower back. So of course we can't place our lungs in our lower back. However, imagination is powerful. Energy flows where our breath goes. And maybe noticing how you feel in the forward fold. And slowly as ready, come out of the forward bend. So you might place one hand on each of your thigh, come back up with a flat back. And then come on seated comfortably back in the chair in preparation for a short guided meditation in your final relaxation. And so get whatever you need to set yourself up comfortably. And so you're seated comfortably, but you're still sitting up nice and tall. You're alert. And so I'm going to put this rolled up yoga mat along my spine. And so for you, it might be that you place a blanket on your lap. So a little bit of weight on your thighs can be encourage grounding. Just pull my block forward a little bit. Also, I've heard tell that a blanket weight on our thighs can help with fatigue. And so maybe just closing your eyes softly or soft gaze down. Take a moment to ask yourself, is there anything else I need for my yoga practice today? And so it might be repetition is something we did earlier in the class. So an opportunity to do your own thing. Maybe something entirely different. And so for the meditation today, I'd like to just read a quote from a book by Richard Wagamese called One Drum. And it just so happens that I'm looking at the back cover and the front cover, the book that's open beside me on the floor. And so stories and ceremonies for a planet. And the quote or the statement that's on the back is by Richard Wagamese is, we are all one energy, one soul, one song, and one drum. And so I'll read it one more time. We are all one energy, one soul, one song, and one drum. So Richard Wagamese, hopefully I'm pronouncing his name correctly. And so sitting comfortably, effortlessly upright. Roll your shoulders back and down. Relax your arms in your lap, palms face up or down as desired. Draw your hands in towards your hips. Look down and into your heart. See what you can see. And so I'd like to offer you 3 wonderful grounding practices as an option for your meditation. And so the first one would be a breath awareness practice. And so looking down into your heart, see what you can see. And so it goes like this. Breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. As my in-breath grows deep, my out-breath grows slow. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I release. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. And so alternatively, as a grounding technique, you might bring your awareness to the soundscape around you. So noticing the sound furthest away from you. And bring your awareness to the sound closest to you, maybe hearing the sound of your breath, sound of your heartbeat. And then take your awareness to the sound between closest and furthest away from you. And lastly, as a grounding technique, you might bring your awareness to a gentle sense of gravity, pulling your shoulders down away from your ears, grounding you down to your feet, center and ground through the soles of your feet. So whatever your technique you've chosen, we'll spend a moment or two with a gentle reminder. So I'm breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. As my in-breath grows deep, my out-breath grows slow. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. So alternatively, maybe taking your awareness to the soundscape. So noticing the sound furthest away from you. And bring a gentle awareness to the sound closest to you, maybe hearing the sound of your breath, the sound of your heartbeat. And then bring your awareness to the sound furthest away from you and closest to you, or between furthest away and closest. And then lastly, as an alternative grounding technique, bring your awareness to a gentle sense of gravity, pulling your shoulders away from your ears, grounding you down to your feet, center and ground through the soles of your feet. So we want to keep our connection with Mother Earth. So wherever you are in your breath cycle, bring your awareness back to your breath. Thank your body again. So our bodies are the best home our mind will ever have. And now see if you can begin to deepen your inhale, lengthen your exhale. Wiggle your fingers and toes, hands and feet, waking up. And then as you're ready, if your eyes are closed, gradually blink them open. And then an invitation to take a look around the space that you're in and name 3 objects that you see to bring us back, make those neural connections. Thank you, everyone. Notice how you feel before and after yoga class. Questions or feedback, love to hear from you. So Kausar, my lovely tech host, can facilitate that. So if you're wanting to hang out for a few moments, I'll move in closer to my iPhone.
Thank you, Bobbie.
Thanks.
A beautiful day in
yes,
Vancouver.
Totally. Yeah, here too. Left.
Is it?
It's gorgeous. Yeah. Nice to see your smile.
Yeah, they got Labor Day.
Pardon?
Did you spend your Labor Day there?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, scooping ice cream.
Oh, okay.
Lots of it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Take care, love.
Bye. Love you.
Thanks, Kausar. Bye.
Next week. Bye.
Ciao, baby.
Sell more ice cream.
Oh, for sure.